Welcome back. It's the Will and Willie pre-election special. California primaries coming up on Tuesday, and we're covering a lot of the ground that will be there, and then through the election to November, as we're here with Willie Brown and Will Durst, and I'm Paul Wells. We have a couple of local propositions we should touch on briefly in this very, very, very short ballot. And that's Proposition A about Recology, whether they should retain their contractor or it should go up for bid, and Proposition B, which
is advisory only.
Is advisory only.
Right. It talks about, it says that monies raised through the use of Court Tower should be dedicated only to Court Tower. And obviously that's not the case currently because there are too many other.
But it also puts restrictions on events at Court Tower.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's what I object to.
Restrictions
Yeah,
on
that's
the
what I
events at
object.
Court Tower. But you understand that there are so many other places around the city where nobody would pay anything to go. So what you make at Court Tower, you use generally to take care of the recreational activities in all of the city. And so a no vote on that one is totally and completely logical.
And what about A?
And A is Recology. It simply says that almost 100 years ago, they got the right to
The garbage
exclusive,
contract. Yeah.
exclusive,
Yeah.
single negotiations, not any multiples.
100
And they've
years ago,
parlayed-
really?
Oh, yeah, 1932.
Damn.
They've parlayed that into, I think, probably the best garbage delivery system in the state, because they've got the 3 cans, and you don't really find that any other place. But you know who's driving them mad, though? Are these guys with these little red pickup trucks with the side.
Oh, yeah, we call them the ding-dings because they show up and they'll put all your recyclables in the back of their truck, and they're huge. If you see them, they're teetering around
Yeah,
on
they
those
look like
streets.
they're gonna tumble over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, when in the recycling process, the money made from recycling subsidizes the cost of the garbage pickup. And in part, that's what's made it possible, frankly, to have garbage rates in San Francisco lower than garbage rates in other cities around the Bay. And the argument being made by the Recology people, and incidentally, they went from having a name, I don't know what they
Sunset
were.
Scavengers.
And Golden Gate.
In Golden
Disposal.
Gate and Sunset Scavenger. You know, one time we had multiple scavenger operations, not like New York, where one scavenger company delivers the garbage and the other one picks it up. That's a job generator.
That is a job generator.
That's a job generator.
Reminds me of a scene in Catch-22 where a nurse comes in and reverses the bottles. and that was basically it.
A job is a job.
Speaking of movies, Mayor Brown's column is with a movie time feature always at the end, and as we get close to the end of our program here.
In reality, it's becoming the most popular part of the column. So the news organization tells me, they tell me that they get more reaction to my comment about the movies.
Then Mitt LaSalle.
Yeah, and I really don't do any kind of artistic appraisal of these movies. I go in and say what I thought was good and why.
In a paragraph, but you do it in a paragraph.
Or less.
Yeah,
Or
yes.
less. Or less.
Okay, do Men in Black.
Well,
Men in Black 3.
Men in Black 3 is singularly, in my opinion, the most expensive produced deal devoted strictly to high tech. It is incredible, the amount of high tech. The storyline is less than any story I could create. There is no real storyline. But I got to tell you, that guy, Josh, what's his name? Brolin does a good imitation of a young version of Tommy Lee Jones.
That's right.
And Tommy Lee Jones does a poor version of an old Tommy Lee Jones.
I got to see a premiere, yes, this week. I got to see Moonrise Kingdom, which is a Wes Anderson movie. And he grew up admiring Truffaut's movies, the French filmmaker, the art filmmaker. It's a wonderful story about 2 kids who fall in love and their adventures on this island off the New England coast. And the cast is just tremendous. Bill Murray and Frances McDermott play the girls' parents.
Let me ask you, Paul, at what point do we see a guy from 007? At what point do we see the guy from The Untouchables At what point do we see is in that movie?
Kevin Costner?
Yeah, how do you, are they in the movie?
No, not Kevin Costner.
Bruce Willis is in it.
Bruce Willis.
What does he do?
He plays the island's sheriff, the chief of police for the island.
And is there anything,
Plays a major role as that.
any violence?
Mildly, but most of all, it's about the adventures that these kids have as
Two
they
12-year-old kids.
as they rebel, and the quirkiness of the characters, and you go away feeling good.
It's Wes Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
It's the guy who did Bottle Rocket and what else he do? He did a Rushmore, and he did
And
the
when is this
Darjeeling
movie
Express.
going to be released?
It's out.
Yeah,
it's
it came
out
out
now.
Friday. Came out
There's
Friday.
a guy that operates over on Fillmore near O'Farrell.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime you walk by, so you need the latest movies?
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. He's got the latest movies. I don't know where he gets them. And he sells them like 3 for $11.
And they have Russian subtitles.
Probably.
Yeah, no, I've seen these. I've seen some of these.
I haven't bought any of them, but they clearly are the movies. They're legitimate. And the name of your movie again is what?
It's Moonrise Kingdom, and it was well thought of at Cannes Film Festival.
I see. So it's going to be shown at the Embarcadero, probably.
Yes.
Places
Or
like
maybe
that.
even the
Lumiere.
Sundance.
Or the Lumiere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even the bridge?
No.
I couldn't tell you that.
Now, where do you go? What theater do you frequent?
The one in the Westfield,
Yeah.
the
On
Century,
Market. Yeah.
on Market Street, or I do the Metreon
Metreon.
because they're all walking distance. And
Oh, that's right.
I like to go to the movies when it's $6, and that means before lunch.
Yeah. Do you,
For old people.
do you do? He'll take everything. And I get a AAA card.
That's right.
Here's AARP.
It's very
San Francisco
insulting,
Public
though.
Library.
It's very insulting. Sometimes you go to walk up to the clerk and he looks up and says, "You want a senior and a student, because you got your girlfriend." Oh my!
That's funny. Now, do you do IMAX?
Oh, I do IMAX. I love IMAX.
I love IMAX.
I
I'll
love
see anything
IMAX.
in IMAX.
I love IMAX. As a matter of fact, I'm still trying to, in Avatar, I'm still trying to get those things floating around.
The islands were beautiful. But
Oh,
but did you see Dark Shadows?
No,
That's
I
at
didn't see Dark
IMAX
Shadows.
right now.
I know it is, but you know, I'm not a.
I'm a big Tim Burton fan.
Oh,
I love
okay.
Tim Burton.
I skipped it. I decided I wouldn't do that one.
I enjoyed it. I saw it. I
Oh, you
enjoyed
did?
it.
Dark Shadows?
Yes, and I was never a Dark Shadows fan. So
We were working. It was a daytime soap. We were working, you know. The people who watched Dark Shadows as a daytime soap were either kids coming home
How
from
did you
school.
become hooked on Dark Shadows? If you are hooked on Dark.
No, my wife was. She would watch it after college, you know.
I
But
see.
most of us were working or something.
Are there any other movies to cover?
Well, there are some other.
Oh, what about Hemingway and Gilmore?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Shot in
The
San Francisco.
HBO movie, yeah.
Well,
Lars
Lars and-
Ulrich of Metallica has a part. in
Lars
it.
has a good part.
And it was a movie in which a lot of people who didn't have jobs in San Francisco worked.
Michael
for a
Pritchard's
few
in it.
hours. Yeah, for a
Fellow
few
comedian.
hours. Yeah.
Our good friend Jeanette Etheridge is in it.
That's right, the owner of Tosca's. It's 2.5 hours, though. It's 2.5 hours. Really good work. I suppose if you would describe
Beautiful.
it artistically,
Yeah.
you would say that it runs the gauntlet of what you would want to see in the movies. It goes from being black and white to that brownish sepia,
Sepia, yeah.
and then it becomes Technicolor, or I guess you just say in color. Where did the term Technicolor come from anyway? Where was that? What?
Because it was technical color, so people thought it was better than real color.
Well, that sounds as good as any explanation I've heard. That works
Well, wait a
for me.
minute. I believe what he said. Don't tell me that you think he's making it up. Will never does that. His point of reference sometimes can't
Well,
be
no,
checked.
they had color by Pathé. I mean, they had a bunch of, they had
CinemaScope.
Cinerama.
Cinerama.
So so it was just another, adjective. in
But
front
you
of
know,
color.
they have dropped all of the prefaces,
Yeah, yeah.
prefix.
Yeah.
They now only have just color.
Yeah.
That's all they said.
Well, 3D now, real 3D. They have real 3D. So they have different. So yeah, they're trying to market it.
My television set blew up for some reason, and I
You were watching
replaced
Fox
it.
News?
I went to Best Buy and I got another, and the guy said, "Here are your glasses." I said, "What are these glasses?"
You
for?"
bought a 3D TV.
You bought TV, and at
you
some
got the
point
glasses.
they're going to start advertising. They're going to start broadcasting.
They get a
in
channel.
3D.
They get a fully committed 3D channel on
And you got to
Comcast.
sit there in your house with the 3D glasses
Not
on.
gonna
and-
work. Yeah.
I know. I said, "Well, what do I want these glasses?" "Oh, Mr. Brown, they come with the TV. There's no more."
2 pair.
I said,
Two
"Query, is there any way that I can, like buy a television without?"
Having to wear glasses.
he says, "Well, not yet."
Well,
and then
here we are in HD, by the way, and it's been great to be here again.
Oh, we
We've
done?
run out of time. An hour just goes by so quickly. We'll be doing more
You're
of
so
these as we
smooth
get
when you do
closer to
that.
the election. It's the Will and Willie Show with Will Durst.
That's me.
Willie Brown. I'm Paul Wells, and thank you for watching here on TV 20.
Are we in 3D?
You had to flummox him right at the very end. Just